Hi, my name is Amelia. Welcome to the Gray Lamb. I am the Gray Lamb, the child of two narcissistic parent, black sheep scapegoats. So this is a channel where I tell you little stories about my life and connect them to terms that liberated me, such as what was gaslighting and what were the effects of gaslighting? What is triangulation? What is fawning, freezing? Fight and flight. All these concepts that I've learned over the years have truly liberated me and helped me to realize that I was never the problem. So if you're familiar with that term, you're already on your way to learning about narcissism. There's some excellent writers such as Rebecca Mandeville. There are videos such as those of Jerry Wise who can really help you to get towards differentiating yourself from your family. So I'm just a person on here kind of echoing a little bit of that and relating to you what I've learned and what has worked for me. I'm also here to workshop some ideas that I'm developing for a book. It's a workbook for people like you and me who need to extricate themselves from the clutches of a narcissistically possessed life experience. I've recently become fully estranged from both my parents, and therefore I'm reclaiming more of myself. I'm seeing that the reasons why I doubt myself and doubt things in life are from other people's actions and not that there's anything wrong with me. So in this video, I wanted to just give my parents two labels, two things that they did that were it for me. And I'm not talking about last straws because I have lots of those stories. But basically, to make it real simple, my father did not stop contacting me over many decades when I told him to stop. And that is stalker behavior. I was able to successfully deal with that using police a few years ago. So my father's mistake was that he didn't learn to stop harassing me. He followed me and my mother across Canada when we left him in the early 80s, showed up on my porch, and the first thing I did was go right to my bed and go to sleep. I said that I wasn't feeling well. And that was me trying to protect my boundaries from a father who did not respect my boundaries. He also would call me when I was visiting my grandparents, even though him and I were estranged, and I was manipulated into getting put on the phone because I didn't want to embarrass myself, my grandparents, and him by saying we're not speaking because I didn't have a voice. I wasn't respected. My grandparents were not always impressed with my father's behavior, but I don't think anyone understood the extent of what I went through with that. There were many reasons why I was estranging from my father. He was just an unstable person. He was an alcoholic. He would say things to me that were abusive or ignorant, that would shape my worldview in a really negative way and not help set me up for life. He abandoned me. He was abusive to women. I wish that he actually was never in my life, to be honest with you. There are many worse people out there, and my father has a very good side. He's talented. He has a good heart in some instances, but he's a flawed human being. Someone being a flawed human being, however, is not my fault and should not be my lifelong responsibility. So usually when you have a narcissist, there's maybe one main way that they like to cross your boundaries and fuck with you. They don't even know that they're doing it. It's just these people are possessed. So my father crossed my boundaries in many ways, but what it all came down to was me having the realization that he was stalking me, not respecting my boundaries that I had enforced many times. He offered me nothing, and he continued to make mistakes in his life, and I don't want any part of that. My mother's side, my mother crossed my boundaries by spreading my personal information to anyone who would listen for decades. I mean, this frankly shocked me when I found out, but I kept pushing it under the rug because my mother was the only family member I had. And how was I supposed to make sense of this? And when you're raised with mental and emotional abuse, abandonment, and neglect, you don't have the best reasoning. So I would just push it away and go, oh, you know, that's just the way she is. In my mid-30s, I had compiled a list of 14 people who had told me that she'd been talking about me behind my back. And I had had it. I wrote her a letter, she wouldn't admit it, and then more estrangement ensued. I mean, you got to commend people for trying, but narcissists never change, right? And I thought maybe she could change, but that was a delusion. We went to a therapist. My mother acted terribly. We went to another therapist, and she again ruined the session. I put in a massive amount of effort, and this is what children of narcissistic parents often do. We get stressed out because we're being abused, we don't understand the system, and we don't understand that, most importantly, this person is never going to change. There's just something psychotic about narcissists. They don't really have the feelings there to go, oh, I was wrong, I need to apologize. And if they do, the apology doesn't stick and the behavior returns. It's almost laughable. It's like a game. So the behavior returned. And a couple weeks ago, I found out that my mother had spread my personal information and that of my partner's as well, who is writing a PhD right now, around town. I found out through, I guess, a third, fourth party, I'm not sure. Wrote her the email, you're doing this again, you're never going to be happy until I'm frankly dead. Like, this person has done so many things to degrade me that I have had to overlook because she was my only family member. I came down with a severe disability 6 years ago, and I am housebound most of the time. So I had to overlook a lot of abuse in order to have my mother's help until I could take it no more. Left it at that. I said, don't ever contact me again. I was able to block all of her emails. I told her that my friends think that she is a sociopath, and she didn't like that at all. My mother spent a good deal of my life trying to steal my friends, gossip about me, try to turn my friends against me. The worst thing, though, is she made me feel like I was a bad person, and I still have a bad view of myself because of her. The real problem, though, however, is that my mother was unequipped to deal with what was given to her in life, and instead of making good choices, she made bad choices that hurt her and me, and she created a lot of shame for herself and me, and that is why she continues to be a narcissist, because she is protecting her reputation. And I will be making another video pretty soon about her smear campaign against me. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody.